And then along came microprocessors. Microprocessors meant you could have a much smaller computer, one that would sit on your desk. You didn't need a huge air-conditioned room with 20 people running round feeding the monster. If you were doing a job that turned over a lot of money, say an accountant, you could have one on your desk, but you needed to be able to program it. And for that you needed a programming language. And an easy one to learn was BASIC. But BASIC came with another major advantage. Let me show you.
Two lecturers at a prestigious university, Dartmouth College in the United States, had a problem. The problem was their students. Oh, they were bright enough, no problem there, but unfortunately the technology of the day meant that you had to learn how all the hardware worked before you could learn how to program. But you had to program before you could learn how the hardware worked. So there was a bit of a chicken and egg thing going on here. They had a little think, and they came up with the idea of creating a little computer program that would allow their students to type in code and check that the logic all worked. And then, once they'd got the idea of all the logic, they could teach them how all the hardware worked, and then they could teach them how other computer languages really worked. So they could get them through the programming units much more quickly. And that meant a lot more money for the university. Quickly was good for Kameney and Kurz. They called their computer program Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code, or BASIC for short. And what it meant was that the students had to now type in a computer program in a text editor. That's called the high-level language program. A computer will not understand ordinary text. So that text had to be sent to their program. Their program was an interpreter. It took each line, translated it into machine code, and then ran that machine code. Went back for the next line, translated that, and then ran that machine code. Now this had several advantages. First of all, it was easier for their students. They could write their program, run it and see if it worked immediately, rather than taking days or weeks. The second big advantage was that this sort of program took up much less space in the computer's memory. And so since memory was scarce, you could run much bigger programs, and that was a big advantage in those days. And that is why, with the advent of microprocessors, BASIC became so popular. The amount of memory was limited, it was easy to learn and easy to use, so everybody now could be a programmer, including those accountants who just counted money.